Hello guys, welcome back to the Beastie Room. We've got another little bring back that we got from the Brighton show, and this one's from the Spider Shop, and that is these rather amazing predatory beetles, the Egyptian Predatory Beetle. Its Latin name is Anthia sexmaculata. What a cool name. We do like that. So anyway, I've got 8 of these guys here. Now, there's very little known about these, which is one of the reasons why I was so keen to get some and try them, because there is literally no information. I mean, it's very poor. So what we're going to do, what we do know, is they like it fairly arid, but they do like a little bit of a moisture spot as well, so we can get a little bit of humidity in there, but they are quite an arid species. So what we're going to do, we've got some sand and stuff mixed here. We're going to want that in the bottom, and then we're going to add some of this Leo Life, which again is another type of sand, but it's almost like clay sort of stuff. We've used this in a few enclosures. It's very heavy stuff, I must admit. Right, so you just want to mix this up a bit. Just mix it up. And the reason we mix it up just to give it a little bit of texture, really, make it look a bit different, doesn't it? Make it look a bit more interesting. And we're going to add a little bit of beastie mix in it as well. Nothing too much. This is just, remember, just to give it a bit of texture, that's all. We're going to go for some soil. And what I want to try and do is, we've got this real assortment of stuff here. And the idea being, I want to try and create, we've got a nice bit of bark here. I want to try and create an area behind here for them to, if they're going to lay any eggs, I'm hoping we can keep a damp area behind here for them to do just that. We might have to get a little bit more stuff in there. I think what we do, so what we're going to do is we're going to put some soil in here. Now this is all trial and error, because we really don't know whether this sort of thing will work or not. Because again, it's one of them creatures within the hobby that there just is no information. So everything we do is trial and error. So all we can do is just play around with it, see what happens. There is no right or wrong at the moment, and this is how we learn and basically improve the hobby as we go. So I'll put a bit more of this in. See a bit of that in there. Mix it well in again. There we go. Just try and give a little bit of something on it. Get rid of that. There we go. So we've got a mixture of other stuff here as well. What we were trying to do, these are a terrestrial species of beetle. So we're going to see what we can. So I can't talk and think at the same time. What do we want this? That would be better, wouldn't it? That's it. Let's just make sure our lid will close. Always important when you've got stuff coming up near the top, which it won't. Look at that. That's got it. Right, so what we're looking at now is we basically just want to add some stuff, really, just to make it look a little bit decent. We don't want to clutter it up too much, because these guys do like to move around. They're very, very active. So we're just looking at just making a little bit of something out of it. There we go. Don't like that. We don't like that at all. What is this? We might be able to use this and give them reasonable access into that bit of ground up there. That's it. Get stuff in there. That'll do. I think that will do. Remember, we don't have to use everything that we've got, so we can try and keep a little bit of ground there that's half decent. Now, one thing that we have found out about these is they do like to have good access to water. So I'm going to put a little bowl in there, and again, you only really want to have a shallow bowl, because we don't want these guys, fear of these guys drowning. I think that'll be alright. Don't look half bad. Now then, here's our beetles. Now, as the name suggests, these are a predatory beetle, and they're very fast on their feet. And they do possess the ability to squirt like an acid type substance from their abdomen, which they can squirt into a predator's eyes and things like that, if they're pushed. Now, they do have they've got quite large mandibles as well. There's one there. Now, even sexing these guys is proving to be a little bit awkward, and we're actually thinking that the females are these larger ones, and the males are slightly slimmer, so they have a slimmer abdomen. And what we're going to do, we're going to pop that in there. It doesn't want to leave now. Go. Now, this is what another one here. There's another one. As you can see, they seem to be pretty placid things, really. Now, this is what we think is a male. You can see he's a much smaller, quite a dainty looking little fellow compared to this one. This is what we think is a female. You can see the difference in the build. The female is quite a robust looking thing, and he is quite a dainty looking thing. Right. Oh, look at that, she jumped. One left. Get this one in. That's it. So then, these guys, as their name suggests, these are called the Egyptian Predatory Beetle. Now they're found throughout India and all the way down the northern side of Africa. So they cover a huge area, right the way through Syria, all through that way. So they've got a very wide range. Now, it doesn't look hopeful that we'll actually be able to breed these. As you know, pretty much everything that comes into the beastie room, we always attempt to breed, because that's the real fun part of the hobby. That's what we like. Now, with these, it's looking doubtful that we'll ever be able to breed them. I understand that on rare occasions they have been able to lay eggs, which is why we're hoping with this area here, this damp area in the back, we're hoping they'll lay in that just like our assassin bugs do. But the big problem lies in that in the wild state these guys lay their eggs inside ants' nests, and then the young larvae feed off of the very small grubs and ants within that nest, and they take on the smell and odour of the ants so they don't get eaten, so they become mimics. Now we can't obviously replicate that, so it's going to be very doubtful that we'll ever actually manage to breed these. We are going to give it a go. We're going to give it a try. Not quite sure how yet, but we're going to try. We're going to try and sort something out. But we won't be able to get ants, I'm sure. Now, food-wise, they have a very good appetite, and they'll take on any of the creepy crawlies, all of your small crickets, little mealworms, anything like that, even small roaches. I'm sure they'll go for them as well. So any kind of small invert, these guys will try and tackle and eat. Now, in terms of temperature, they're quite used to having cold nights and warm days, but we should be okay. We should be able to keep these up into the sort of 80s, low 80s. They should thrive, and then we can drop them down of an evening. Even if we keep them at a steady temperature, they'll be fine. But they are capable of going down to quite low temperatures in the wild state. So in theory, they should be able to do a very similar thing in captivity as well. So I think we're going to have a play around with them and see what we can do. And as you can see, they are really quite active. This one here was just having a drink, and we have noticed that with them. They do tend to really take on quite a bit of water. That one's actually chewing on the moss there as well, which is quite interesting. And that one there is actually chewing into the wood. Now this is all unusual behaviour. So this is probably things that have maybe not been noticed before. I've not heard mention of things like this happening. So yeah, we're going to keep an eye on them and learn as much as we possibly can, and see where it takes us, really. But yeah, what an amazing inverts. These are really cool. So keep you posted, keep your eyes open, and we'll follow them through and see what happens. Well, I hope you enjoyed that, and you enjoy our new predatory beetles. And don't forget, be calm, be gentle, and love your spider. And I'll see you soon, guys.